Understand this, and you've taken the first step to mastering photography and video. I got a comment a few days ago that said, another video on lights? Imagine that. Unsubscribed. He might have been joking, I don't know. But before we write this guy off as just another hater, and he might have been joking, I don't know. He perfectly summed up in one sentence the biggest misconception about photography. And if people don't understand what photography and filmmaking really is, they will never be a great photographer, videographer, or cinematographer. And I get the same thing on my health channel. This is one of the unhealthiest countries in the world. Even though it's one of the richest consumer-based societies on earth, Americans love to buy stuff. They think buying more stuff will make them happy. A new car, another gun, a bigger pickup truck, and they all end up in debt, and then they blame the banks or the government or anything outside of themselves for their problems, right? They eat junk food, which tastes great, and it gives them instant gratification, so then they get sick, and then they ask me what to take to get better. All I say is, what do I take? Just tell me what to take. They never want to hear, well, maybe stop doing what caused the problem in the first place. Well, wannabe filmmakers and people interested in photography are no different. They think buying the newest, greatest camera or lenses will make them better photographers, and their YouTube videos will look like Hollywood movies and people will bow at their feet. Well, I'm sorry, but 8K 60 frame per second 24-bit log with IBIS will not make you a great filmmaker or photographer because people are focusing on the wrong thing, the camera. You know what photography is? It's the capture of how light hits things. You cannot see light. You can only see what it hits. Light is invisible. So when you see a light ray, you're not actually looking at the light. It's the light illuminating particulate matter in the air like dust or smoke. When you see a tree or a house or a person, you are seeing the light reflecting off them. You cannot see them without light. And how the light hits them makes all the difference in the world. It can make them look horrible and old and wrinkled, or it can make you look glamorous and 20 years younger. Without light, you have nothing. When you see beauty, you see beautiful lighting. That's what you're looking at. The most important person on a movie set is not the cameraman. Nope. The most important person on the movie set is the writer, then the director, then a cinematographer, aka DP, director of photography. And he doesn't just stand there figuring out what lens to use and where to put the camera. No, long before that, he's had extensive talks with the gaffer on what kind of lighting will be used in each shot. And YouTubers are obsessed with the word cinematic and which camera they can get that makes things look cinematic. You know what makes something cinematic? It's not the camera. It's the lighting and the storytelling, the emotion, the anticipation, the editing, the acting, the passion, and subtlety. It's what you don't see or hear. Exposition is the death of cinematic greatness. All the camera does is capture light. That's it. Understand this, and you've taken the first step to mastering photography and video. Blurry backgrounds do not make a great movie. Some of the most epic movies ever made, like Lawrence of Arabia, were filmed with almost everything in focus. Some of the greatest cinematic moments were captured almost 100 years ago, and they weren't shooting RAW or using LOGs or LUTs or 24-bit. The cameras they were using are dinosaurs compared to what you can buy as a consumer nowadays. Man went to the moon with computers that had less computing power than your wristwatch or cell phone. So why aren't you going to the moon? Forget full frame. Your APS-C camera has a sensor the same size as a 35mm motion picture film that most Hollywood movies have been made with. So why do you think a bigger sensor or more dynamic range or faster frame rate will make you a better filmmaker? What you bought on eBay has more power than those huge Panavision cameras they used 30 years ago. You think getting an Arri Alexa will make you great? They were making masterpieces in the 1970s with old Mitchells that were made back in the 1920s. Talk about dinosaurs. A basic Arri 2C didn't even come out until 1964, almost 50 years after the first Mitchell was made in 1917. And you think a new Sony, Canon, Nikon, or Fuji is going to make all the difference in the world? I know this is hard for most people to wrap their head around, but photography and filmmaking is not about cameras. All cameras do is capture light. So therefore, what matters most isn't the camera, it's the lighting. So when I make videos about lights, it's the very heart of photography. It's the core of filmmaking. George Lucas didn't call his company 24-bit raw 120 frame per second f1.2 Arri Alexa. He called it industrial light and magic because light is where the magic is. Look at the Columbia Pictures logo. Is she holding a camera? No, she's holding a light. I don't get excited about new cameras or lenses. I can make great pictures with just about anything camera made in the last 100 years, and so can you. What excites me is anything, and I mean anything, that emits light, even if it's the tiniest little gizmo the size of a coin. If it emits even the tiniest speck of light, that is a speck of magic. Light is a piece of heaven that sparks our soul. It's what allows us to see anything and everything that we see with our eyes. We would never know the beauty of a flower or feel the warmth of someone's smile without light. So, yes, this excites me more than any camera, and I will continue to make videos about anything that emits light. And if this bores you, then this may not be the channel for you. But if you want to truly understand photography and great filmmaking, then stick around and let's share different ways to light up the world.